And they are rolling. Going to be fun this weekend. Big Ten opener. It's time for the Rutgers Report. And it's brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above, and by RWJ Barnabas Health, official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. It's a healthy 3-0 start. Coach Schiano, welcome back to the fan. Greg, how are you, buddy? What's happening?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Doing okay. You know, I was thinking about this, and you know, your first ride with the school was obviously amazing. You know, it just nobody saw it coming, and it was always a tough job. You inherited a rough program, and you know, not to speak poorly of Coach Shea, but you didn't inherit a ton. How is it different the second? Now that you go and you talk to recruits, and they know, or at least their parents do, what you did the first time to transform Rutgers, is it a lot easier this time, or no?
It is. You know, when you come back and you have some credibility from having done it last time, you kind of get an audience right away, right out of the gate. And I can tell you that first time we didn't get an audience. We literally had to go to other parts of the country to recruit our team because it wasn't, you know, people in the local area, it just wasn't cool to go to Rutgers. But I think we changed that the first go around, and fortunately we were able to pick right up where we left off and have done well recruiting. And you know, the better you do on the field, the better you're going to do in recruiting. That's a fact.
Oh, there's no doubt. And, I mean, listen, you have some schools, and I think there were many years where this applied to Rutgers as well, where you might have a really good baseball team and softball and track and field, but if the revenue generators aren't moving the needle, it's just economically depressing time for the school. And right now, you know, you guys are 3-0. You're back. Basketball's been much better last couple of years. Like, it just seems like Rutgers has the interesting conference affiliation, which I think is good for you guys. It's a new chapter for Rutgers. It just feels like a different university. It's always been a good school, but it feels very different the last couple of years, right?
Well, it's hugely different. I mean, from 2002 on, I really worked our tail off to get us into the Big Ten. And unfortunately, I left before we were able to do that. But the day I heard of it, I said, that's the game changer. And it is a game changer because it's literally, I believe, the best sports conference in America because it's a high intersection of academics and athletics. Mm-hmm. And that's what the Big Ten is. I mean, it's really what college football is all about. And I think Rutgers belongs there. I think that's exactly what our school is, a major state land-grant institution that is really a high academic school. And what we need to do is match that with the athletics program. And like you said, Steve Peichel has done an awesome job with our basketball program, and they're ahead of where we are now. But we sure want to mimic that and get the football program to that level.
Yep, and we're talking to Greg Schiano, Rutgers head coach here on the Fan Tiki and Tierney show. So 3-0, BC, which is obviously in a good conference and some good pedigree over the years, Wagner and Temple. So I know you'll have an answer for this. I don't have an answer outside of maybe gaining confidence, but and not to disparage Wagner. I've got a lot of respect for Wagner, but when you play Wagner, you guys probably could have scored 90 if you wanted to. What, as a team, aside from the literal win, do you take away from beating a team like Wagner?
Well, I think it's huge. I think you get an opportunity to play a lot of people, right? And a lot of these guys are busting their tail every day out on the practice field. And for them to get college game experience is critical. And again, I'm going to tell you that, you know, if you're not ready to play, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You can get knocked off. Mm-hmm. You look at it every single week. There's 1AA programs, or what do they call it now, FCS programs that'll knock off an FBS program.
Oh, all the time,
it's the way of the world.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It's the way of the world.
Uh-huh.
So it's not as much a shoo-in as people believe.
Uh-huh.
But when you see the score afterwards, like, oh, that, you know, believe me, you got to be ready to play. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Now, is there benefits? There sure are. And the one I mentioned, I think, is the biggest one, that a lot of people got to play in that game, and you get some valuable experience.
Mm-hmm. You guys are young. Speaking of experience, just about 70% of the team, I was looking at this before the show, 70% of the roster for Scarlet Knights right now has 3 or more years of eligibility. So you're planting these seeds with kids. I know the transfer portal is crazy, so, you know, things can change fundamentally. I get that. But right now, the roster is young, and it's ascending. And the identity seems to be defensively driven, second in the country in rushing defense, which, by the way, is number 1 among Power 5 schools. So it's through 3 games, various degrees of competition. The defense is leading the way right now. When I say coach, something that statistically is not popping off the page right now that you absolutely expect to get better as the year goes on, what would that be?
Offensively or defensively?
Either area, Coach. Anything. Special teams, anything, really.
Yeah, well, I think defense is playing well, and like you said, we're stepping up in competition. That's the big thing. Iowa's coming to town Saturday night, and they are traditionally just a very strong program. And Coach Ferentz and his staff, they've been there a long time. They know how they want to do things. So we got a great challenge ahead of us. I think offensively, we're just going to continue to improve. We're better on the offensive line than we've been. Sometimes it's shown, sometimes it hasn't, but it will continue to get better. And when you start to get your O-line going, then your whole offense will start going. And again, we're young at quarterback, so we've had two quarterbacks playing that hadn't really played before, and Noah Vedra will be coming back soon. So I think things are going to start to come together on offense, but it's a journey. There's no doubt about it. We have a young team, and we try to go out there every single week and find a way to win, and that's what we're trying to do this week. And we expect a packed house. It's going to be a great venue, a great atmosphere, and we're going to go play as hard as we can. That's all you can control.
And that's what Schiano teams usually do. It's a Scarlet out, by the way. It's the Big Ten home opener this Saturday, Iowa at 7. I know the Rutgers Boardwalk opens at 3, so there are going to be some lubed-up fans walking into that stadium, which is awesome. Greg, last thing before I let you go, I never had the chance to ask you this. Obviously, you've been paid handsomely and you've earned every penny. When you look at the NFL experience versus being back in college, is it just more – I would think that it's more gratifying being with young men, impressionable men, student athletes. Do you feel that? I mean, are you just a college guy at the end of the day?
Well, I don't know if you're a college guy or a pro guy, but I do enjoy the part about, influencing lives, changing young men, helping young men achieve the things they want to do. And pro football, they're grown men. Pro football, they have families of their own. And I think the thing that really jumps out to me is being a professional football coach. Although it's a hard job, it's a job. Being a college football coach is a lifestyle. You live life with your kids. You grow them up. It's much like parenting. So It's definitely a different job being a college head coach and a professional head coach.
Now you got the NILs, you got the transfer portal. You're probably saying, dude, just give me the whistle. Let me coach these kids up, right? Listen, it should be fun. Saturday night, good luck against Iowa. Bring back a conference win. Nice to chat. It's been a while. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on.
There you go. Yep, absolutely. Rutgers Report brought to you by Jersey Mike's. That's a sub above, and by RWJ Barnabas, official healthcare provider of Rutgers Athletics. Let's be healthy together. Where's Rhett go for this spot? Huh? Was he practicing his basketball call?